We're going straight to me being on there when I'm coughing. Hi, everyone. This is Emma messing with me a little bit because I deserve it, if I'm being honest. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. Hugo, I'll go ahead and do a quick intro, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into things. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Welcome to another awesome AMA, another awesome live stream. Oh, thanks, Adam. I had an internal comment of just don't cough next time. Gosh. Yeah, I'm going to actually just have this part of my body medically removed. I think about, I'm going to have a metal plate just inserted right here. Hugo, you see what I'm going for, right?
Yeah.
I'm going for, I'm trying to make a Star Wars reference with your Stormtrooper helmet in the background of what, I'll just become a droid. There you go. I'll be a battle droid. I hear the term clanker is back in fashion anyways. Appreciate everyone in chat that is trying to figure out what number and order. Jokes on all of you. I was in here at half an hour before the stream starts. So NetSec, I beat you as the first one. Just gonna lay down the law there. Hey, everyone in chat. I guess I should focus and get us started. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here for another awesome AMA. I guess I haven't said it yet, but my name is right there next to me on the screen. I am Dark. I'm one of our amazing community members. I guess if I say so myself. I'm joined here with Hugo, who is one of our awesome members of our meetup. I'm trying to think of the best way to introduce you. You can tell that it's a Friday morning and I'm brain dead. Hugo's a wonderful member of our community, and he's agreed to come on for one of our blue AMAs that we have. We're going to have a series of a couple of blue team defensive themed AMAs for Cybersecurity Month. We have an awesome TTF coming up, which I'll talk a little bit more about at the end, but I'm going to go ahead. I'll link that in chat right now because you know what? Why not? You folks are worth it. There we go. That is a link to our upcoming CTF that starts this upcoming Monday. It is a Sherlock's CTF. So it's the Holmes CTF. It's our first all blue CTF event. When I say it's a Sherlock's event, if you look on our main website, the activities that are Sherlock's, that's what the CTF is made up of. I mentioned that if you want a good way to practice, you've got the weekend ahead of you. It's a great way to get a feel for what you're going to be looking at. But I'll go ahead and I'll talk a little bit more details about that at the end. Definitely take a look at that link I posted in chat, but we'll go ahead and crack right into it. First and foremost, thank you so much for being here, Hugo. I've told the people a little bit about you. Would you like to give your full introduction?
Yeah,
go for it.
Thank you, Dark. All right. So yeah, my name is Hugo. I'm enthusiastic for Hack the Box, like Dark was saying. I've been to loads of meetups, which is an amazing way to get to know the community and to network. I've been
give me all that promotion there, please.
Yeah. hide the little cube there. No, so I've been attending to the Hack the Box meetups for I think it's been like 2 years now, and it's been an amazing way to get to know the community, to get to know more cybersecurity professionals. All sorts of people that really enjoy, just to share information and knowledge, and that is really, really good. I'm quite new in the cybersecurity profession, so I've only been around about 2 years. My work, I work for Malwarebytes. So I got a little bit more of a blue team experience. So I'm quite excited about this CTF that you were talking about. Funny story. Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was in August, so I was quite excited with my team to like, oh guys, it's 2 days to go, and there was like, no mate, it's a month to go, so take it easy. So yeah, it's going to be quite excited to have a CTF dedicated to the blue team, and I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, thank you guys for inviting me to be here. It's really good opportunity to speak about my experience, also for the people that, you know, that they wanted to start in this kind of job, and they think, oh, I'm too young or I'm too old. I think there's no age to start. You know, it's growing. So definitely it's a great opportunity for me and to everyone that wants to start in this. So yeah.
Absolutely. Couple of thoughts. One, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Gotta imagine you were a little disappointed realizing that, oh, I have to wait a month for this.
Yeah. Well, it's my fault, learn to read. It did big letters, September.
You say that, but that some days that's easier than others. It's a Friday. I don't know about that today. I'm so sorry.
And I remember it was like 27th of August. I thought it's a Friday. So yeah, we got the Friday, and then you got the weekend to work on it. And then I was, yeah, it makes sense. And then people was just like, nah, mate, it's still a month away. So chill.
Hey, the enthusiasm's there. It's a good problem to have, right?
I kept it. I kept it.
Absolutely. And if anything, it's giving you time to prep. Now I have to acknowledge one, appreciate on the new folks in chat. I hope y'all enjoy this AMA. This is something that it's one of the goals, I guess, if I were to take a step back and, talk about this from an authorship standpoint. One of the goals for this AMA is really talk through that transition of going from wanting to join the industry to making it in, especially looking at that blue team side. That's something that we haven't necessarily spent as much time on. And Hugo, I'm really excited to have you here just because you may say that you're new, but at the same time, that's also such an important thing that I can't understate how big of a deal that is. Exactly. I mean, you understand exactly what I'm getting at there.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do want to acknowledge that you mentioning that you have a team that you're going to compete with for this. You're laying down the gauntlet. You're letting people know in stream that this is your competition, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, well, it's a healthy competition. There's no inside information, so
you don't have a gladiator thing you want to say of yeah, come face me in the ring
to taunt people. No, I don't think. I'll think of something probably, but yeah, not at the moment.
All good. Well, if you want to throw down the gauntlet later in the stream, maybe at the end, I'll let you have that one there. Here, one moment. Yeah, we were not going to cough unmuted on stream. That wasn't happening. All my audio viewers, yeah, I want you to know I'm looking out for you. Anyhow, thank you so much for introducing yourself. Hugo, you've had a really interesting path to making it to your career, and I'm just really excited to talk to you about that. Real quick for everyone in chat, especially as we have a lot of new folks here, if you have any questions, this is an AMA, so it's ask me anything, well, almost anything, which I'm gonna let you decide where the lines are there. We've had questions about what's your favorite kind of bread before. That's always a fun one. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And I have, sometimes it's, we do mention those on stream. Hook us up, Hugo. Look, I'm a sourdough guy myself. We do have one question in chat from Mr. Prophecy. You're also being shaken down by chat. So joke, aside, quick joke. Before the stream started, one of the other community team members, I'll throw him under the bus, sure. Falcon Spy, Adam, he hopped in and just hanged out in studio with us and was saying, you got free Malwarebyte keys for us? Just joking, of course, because just with Hugo being affiliated with them. So it's funny that Mr. Prophecy should jump in here and start the shakedown in the stream too. Hugo, do you have a response to that? Do you wanna take a moment to respond?
What's the inside scoop?
You can make up something. You can tell them something very, very dumb for this if you want.
No, I don't really have an answer for that. I wasn't prepared for that one.
I'm glad though, catching you off guard right away. That's what I want. Oh, we do have a fun one there from Hacker Kid. And I'll tell you what, Hugo, you okay with me going ahead and jumping right into questions?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and I'm gonna grab that one from chat right away. The this one from Hacker Kid. What age do you suggest starting in cybersecurity? Oh,
Wow.
you're good, Mr. Prophecy. It was a great question. Here, go ahead, Hugo. I'll let you answer.
Okay. Age. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm 41 right now, and I've been for a couple of years. So I started the course for cybersecurity probably when I was 38. So 38, turning 39, I reckon. So,
Man, you're
mate,
like 3 feet in the hole already there. What are you doing?
I know.
I kid, go ahead. Yeah.
But I don't think there's an age right now. I mean, the sooner you start, the better. I mean, there's a lot of information right now. There's a lot of good material out there. There's a lot of stuff that you can investigate. Again, there's a big community. It keeps growing. There are a lot of events that you can attend. But I don't think you're ever too young or too old to start in cybersecurity. It's still growing. There's a lack of good professionals. And I don't think, again, that there's an age that you can start. I mean, take my example. I'm pretty much like Dark was saying. I'm old in a way, but I'm not that old. I mean, there's no age to start or to think like, oh no, there's no way I can career change now because it's going to take a long time. So yeah, there's really no age, but the sooner you start, the better. I mean, you get a little bit of advance of people, like me that that are 40 years old.
Oh, don't listen to me saying you're old. That was
No, I'm
ironic.
just
That was
kidding.
very much in jest. No. I'd say if you're old, myself is 29. That does
Yeah.
make me old too. Although I turn to my girlfriend all the time and say, "Oh my God, we're old." We were talking about the year 2014 last night. Like that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was. It hurt me a little. Um, sorry, I'm back on the conversation. Wanted to make sure that that came across as a joke. Yeah, I mean, for starting, it's really it's never a bad time to start. The best time to start is now. Just to really bring that to a head. Do you have any other thoughts you wanted to add on that? Just because it's such an important thing to cover. Really, that you can start at any time.
Yeah, you can start at any time. I mean, definitely. I mean, it's all on your mindset. If you really want to go for it, just go for it. I wasn't happy what I was doing. I wasn't happy how the things were turning. I was, I really wanted to start something, a career of something that I really enjoyed, something that I could, didn't have to hustle a lot to get promoted or anything. And I'm not just saying that you get promoted all the time. That's not it. But I was looking for something also that would make me whole, something that would really that I could really grow and make me happy. And I really like this job I have. And so I don't think you're ever old or like, oh, I don't want to do a career change. I mean, I've come from so many different backgrounds. I have so many different experiences in my background, and I never thought I would end up in cybersecurity. So yeah, just take that chance. If it's something that you like, just try. I mean, again, there's loads of platforms out there. You can try the Hack the Box. Obviously, if you're here, you already know about Hack the Box, but there's loads of modules that can get you started. Just have a look, do the challenges and the Sherlocks and the machines, and you can have fun. And if you have fun, then it's like, yeah, this is for me. I have two friends that just started also, and they're finishing now, and they're looking for their first job in cybersecurity. I was chatting with them yesterday, and just you're never too old, man. It's one was a nurse, and another one was in like call center. So yeah, they're just going for it, and it's never too late. Just go for it. Just try it and see if you like it.
Now, you mentioned you hit on some really interesting things there. Um, and admittedly, this is one of my beliefs, that cyber, it takes a lot of different skill sets, and because of that, you can get a lot of really interesting background things that you
Mhm.
might not, they end up benefiting you in your cybersecurity career, and it's unexpected how they end up working out. You mentioned that you've had kind of an interesting journey, or you've been through a couple different roles. Are there anything that strikes you, anything that sticks out that you find benefits you right now with what you do, either in things that you have done or maybe you want to do in the future, just with your work? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from my background, I worked in pubs, clubs, hotels. I even worked for a cruise line, and I was a server. I used to, so I've worked in that area for a long, long time. I know. I'm not even sure how, if you put it all together, maybe more than 15 years. I think that helped me to, believe it or not, but yeah, the stress part to work under pressure, because people can be very rude. They're always in a hurry, so you have to deal with those situations. Like, you need to be cool under pressure, because people are going to complain. Something's going to be late. The problem solving, the keeping it cool under pressure. And I feel that sometimes in this job also, especially in the SOC environment and all of that, there's a lot of pressure, because there's loads of alerts coming. You cannot control that, the flux. Sometimes it's that always at the same time, sometimes it's not. But I think it's important to know how to control yourself and to be cool in that kind of situation. And I think, dealing with customers, being under pressure, people sometimes screaming at you. You can just, like, okay, you just relax, take a deep breathe in, and then calm down, and just try to solve it in the best way. So I think in that area, to work under pressure, I think that helped a lot, because I don't think there's anything worse than someone screaming on you, at your face, like, "Ah, I want it medium rare."
I I I I'm speechless. I don't know how to respond to you ending that with the medium rare joke out of nowhere. Um, I think that joke might have been for me, more than anything. Uh, thank you for speaking to that. Taking a moment there. One moment. Sorry, chat. Dark has a cold. I promise it won't be an issue. Uh, Real quick, I wanted to take a moment just to acknowledge that I have 16 questions starred right now. I'm going to go ahead and remove that current question from the screen. But that's really just to show y'all in chat are asking some really great questions. And I actually just saw another one I scrolled past and didn't star. So we're going to star that now. So we're back up to 16 again. Uh, Thank you everyone for asking your questions in chat. If I don't ask your question, I might have rolled it into someone else's just to make it a more comprehensive question. We are getting really, really awesome questions just in general. And I'm sure y'all can hear it in chat. I'm pretty floored with that. No, thank you. Keep up the ass. Let me know if there's something you hear that you want us to dive into a little bit more. Let me go ahead. And Hugo, have you seen any questions that jump out at you that you want to jump to, or do you want me to go ahead and pick one?
Yeah, just pick one. I wasn't. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at the
No,
comments.
you're
I'm
good.
trying to.
I want
Yeah,
you to be able to talk, just in
yeah.
case you saw one that jumped out
Yeah.
at you. Let's go ahead. We're gonna go just in order then. This one is from Rifki Rufian. Pardon if I butchered your name. I am 3 years on SOC analyst. Is it better to jump into a security engineer or to become an incident handler? Do you have any thoughts on that? I realize that might not be directly applicable to
Um,
you, but
mhm.
just if you had any thoughts on that question.
Hi, Rifki. Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, my answer would be, I mean, what drives you? What is something that, what would you prefer to do? I mean, I don't do things just, how to explain this? So I'm not doing something just to try to. What drives me is, um, trying to obviously grow in my career, but I want to keep doing something that I like. So I mean, it's a bit of different being a security engineer and an incident handler. I think between the two, I would personally prefer the incident handler. I think it's quite exciting, but I don't know. Do you have a background in security engineer, or I, I was talking to some people yesterday, and I was like, what is your main goal? What is it? Is it just to continue growing? Getting as much as you can from the company, like trying to grow inside, or do you want to move, or because I think that's quite important. For me, for example, I would like to go to digital forensics. I quite enjoy it. So that would be like an interesting step for me inside the blue team area. But yeah, I mean, what drives you? Is it money? Is it yourself? Do you want to like grow in that security engineer area? Is something that you like doing, like reverse engineering and stuff? I think that's quite exciting. I don't really know about that much, but I would like the incident handler.
Thank you for speaking to that. I know that some of these questions are not directly applicable. And chat, if you ever have questions that if I can add something onto, I'll do my best. Mostly, I want to make sure this is focused on Hugo, but at the same time, I also want to make sure we get good questions to answer. Get great answers to questions. There we go. Words. You can tell it's a Friday. No, thank you for speaking to that. Did you have any thoughts before I jump on to the next question?
Not that I think of now. No, yeah. I cover it. Sorry, Rifki, if I didn't answer.
No, thank you for speaking to that. Let me go ahead and we'll grab our next question here. This is a similar question to the age question, and I want to cover it just briefly from the school angle. Do you think that so are you familiar with high school age in the US? What that would be for schooling? Here, let me see. I'll read this question out loud. Do you think that high school computer science CS is important, or is it is starting computer science in a university better? Essentially, are you going to get information that's valuable at that high school level or earlier in life, or is it worthwhile just to wait till you can start at that higher level of learning?
Okay. Interesting question. I mean, I'm not familiar with obviously the U.S. school system. I'm not sure like what kind of material they would do in computer science. Okay. Again, I think this relates to the first question. Like, are you, what age is, should I start, or is it, like, again, when I truly started to get into cybersecurity was about in 2023. So 2022, something like that. So it wasn't that long ago, and there's a big spectrum. There's a lot to learn, but again, the sooner you can start learning, even if it's by yourself. It doesn't have to be from, if you have it in school, brilliant. If you don't, again, you can just start on your own and start using, all of the blogs, internet platforms. And obviously, if you can get to university, that will take you a long way. I hope, because I've never been. So I didn't go to the university to do this. But and again, I'm not familiar with the with the training system, so I can't say if it's any good or bad, but I cannot imagine it being bad. So I'm not gonna publicly say, yeah, don't go to university. That's bad.
I mean, they'd be a hot take. It would be a really hot take.
Well, I didn't go. It turned out fine, but you never
And I can speak to this briefly on the US side, as someone that I was fortunate enough to have access to computer science a little bit in high school. Oh gosh, what do you do? Light programming. I find that it can be helpful being introduced to the concepts as you start learning how programming thinks a little bit, and it can help you lead into that. Lead into that.
Mhm.
What am I talking about? Leading into higher level training. Just kind of in line with what you were saying, Hugo.
I think high school is quite important in those things. Like you have loads of different things that it's not just about teaching you about. Some people would say like a lot of they're not really useful, but you start and you're like, oh, you know what, I like this. And maybe if it wasn't for school, I wouldn't know about this. So it can serve its purpose. Again, I'm not sure if it's very very useful, but even if it's like an introduction to something, and people go like, yeah, you know what, I like this makes sense, and boom, you're the world's greatest hacker all of a sudden.
Um, I'm again left speechless. I'm not sure what to follow that up with. I feel like just letting that sit out there for a moment is
Just
the
for a
best.
moment.
Yeah, let's steep out there. Here, let me go ahead. Great question though. Again, a different take on that age question, but at the same time, it's really interesting to consider just because you're right. You have access to less resources when you're younger, and it's a good question to ask.
Hmm.
Let me go ahead. Um, this is an interesting one. Is military experience in Cyberforce going to be valuable? Do you have any experience with any of your coworkers that might have military backgrounds or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it's 100% valuable. Every background is valuable, but I do know for a fact that we get a lot of coworkers that have served in the military, law enforcement and all of that, and it does help because obviously you have a different experience. Um, how do I say it? Like, I don't have military experience myself, but again, most of my colleagues, I know that they do have, and I know that joining cybersecurity with military experience is very very valuable, and especially in law enforcement, if you know how to the crooks think. So that's a bit of a plus also. But again, with all of that before, everything definitely is valuable for this role, all the soft skills, but military experience, I know for a fact that you can get very very far in this area. Because think about it, what is a military? I mean, for security, right? There's loads of discipline also, and obviously you can learn a lot of stuff in the military that you can start using also in cybersecurity. So yeah, definitely very very valuable on your CV.
And in the US, at least, I'm not sure how this works in other countries, but it can make it easier for you to get security clearance. That's
Mm.
access to additional documentation, resources, whatever, that can often give you more insight into cyber attacks or upcoming threats. I'm speaking at this from a very high level, just to tack that on there. Have you seen anything with that for clearance? I'm not sure how it works for you
Mhm.
with Portugal, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a job that we did need clearance for something, for some customers because they were government related. And interesting enough, I was talking to an ex-colleague. He's working outside for a security agency in Europe, so a classified security company in Europe. And he was saying like how he enjoys being there, but it's very top secret also. And that we were talking about like NATO, for example. You need a lot of clearance to work at NATO, and they're always asking for staff. And the military experience, it's very valuable there. You'll need a lot of clearance, and I can only imagine that if you served in the military, if you want to like go and work for NATO, uh, I know for a fact that it's quite valuable there.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too. With speaking about NATO and whatnot, I didn't even have that come to mind. Thank you, Captain Flame, for that question. I have a fun one for you next, and I think you're gonna really like this one. This is from Lucas Brzezinus. I did my best to pronounce your last name there. I'm not sure how to pronounce that accent, Mark. Why did you choose the blue team? What brought you towards this?
I knew Lucas. So it was more of a path that was chosen for me rather than I chose it. I'll explain why. When we were doing this security course, this boot camp that I was doing, the final project was a simulated attack from, it was a pen testing, and then you had the red team and the blue team. So obviously we had like a network, and the red team would try to do a pen test, infiltrate, and the blue team would have to, record every step and do a report. Well, both teams had to do a report, and on that project, I ended up on the blue team. So obviously, we started working more with on that side. And someone that from my previous job, he was there during the presentation, and they worked as they had an external SOC. So he was there, and he quite liked the presentation. And after that, we went to some meetings, and I got a job at a SOC environment. So after that, it was just like, okay, I'm already here. And I quite like it. So I've been there for since I started. But I mean, I quite like the pen testing also. It's just that I think that the blue team there's always more need for security analysts than there is for pen testers. The ratio would be like maybe for every pen tester, there's like 5 analysts or more. So, and I think maybe I'll take it with time, because it's quite fun to try to hack into an endpoint. But I think for now, yeah, definitely blue team. Try to get my skills up. And but let's see. So it was. I didn't really choose it. I was driven to it, and I like it. It was more like that.
That's cool though. It kind of, the role almost found you in that way.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. Is that what you tell your boss?
It is, yeah. Well, it's a blue
Bring
shirt
that to your next
also,
one-on-one.
isn't it? Look, it was meant to be. It's not a red shirt, is it? I mean, it's
exactly. What does that say about me?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, thank you. It's just such an interesting discussion with that of how do you choose the career that you want to be in. I appreciate you speaking to that with such candor, just because it's how where we end up in life, where we end up for work. It sometimes can appear a little random, but it all works out in the end.
True. Yeah. I mean,
Now,
and either you like it or you just change. You can always.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big spectrum. Again, there's a lot of once you're in. Also, I think the most important part is just like getting in. After that, you start hanging out with red team and purple team and all of the teams. And then you're like, oh, you know what? You guys doing some really cool stuff there. Do you mind if I watch? Not in a creepy way, okay? But yeah, it's.
I gotta pause there. You were the one that brought it to the creepy place.
I know.
But I do appreciate you doing that.
and so yeah, I mean, you can always change. You can always change.
I really want to take a moment to come up with a joke to respond to that, but I have a question follow-up, so
All right.
rain check, I guess. Now you mentioned just interest in other roles, and this is something that we had discussed a little bit before the AMA, just in planning. We talked about what brought you to defense. Given where you are right now, if you could go and do any role, what would your dream job be? What would that look like?
Ooh.
And why would it look that way, I should say?
You mean in cybersecurity? Right.
Well, I mean, you can answer that question both ways. Everybody has the, I want to go live out in the woods and not interact with people dream. That's, I feel like that comes part and parcel with when you become part of InfoSec, is you get this want to go be a hobbit, something like that. But yeah, I mean, feel free to answer that with both directions.
Okay. So, but when I worked in England for around 6-7 years, and I worked for this company called Majestic Wines. So it was really good. That was my dream job because it was all about the customer experience. I love wine. It's one of my favorite things. Really, really love wine. And it was an amazing company. I had an amazing team working, also really good, culture that we had. And it was the best thing. People would just come in and I would say, "Well, what are you looking for? Something like," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure." And I was like, "Okay, let's just drink some wine." And we had a big table, 3 whites, 3 reds, loads of spirits. It was just like, let's have a chat. Let's just sip some wine and see what you're looking for. So that was, you know, sipping wine all day. I mean, it wasn't that like that, but it was
Give me
pretty
an idea
chill.
of our business right there. Hey, let's go. You don't know what you want for a car? Let's go sit and drink for a little bit.
Exactly. So it was very, very relaxed in a way, and it was again, great culture. It was all about sharing the knowledge. For people that you had everything, from the wine connoisseurs to the people that couldn't really, what's a grape? I don't even know what a grape is. Help me. So it was all about, let's just take it easy. I mean, it's sharing knowledge, and that was really good. I think that if I could choose anything in cybersecurity, I think that social engineering is really good. I think it's I think I'm that kind of guy that could do social engineering.
I would agree
Um,
with that. I think that you definitely could.
um,
That's not meant as anything insidious. I think that you have good candor for it. Here, go ahead though. I don't want to cut your thought off.
no, that's fine. I appreciate it. I mean, I quite like to hear the Darknet Diaries with Jack Resider.
Hmm.
I'm a fan. I've listened to all of the episodes, and he's got a lot of people talking about social engineering, how they go to, like, there's this lady that went to um, DEF CON, and she wasn't into cybersecurity, and she went into the social engineering village, and she was like, "Oh wow, I could do that." So she tried, next year, and she won, or she was like third place or something like that, and then she went again and won. It was something. So I think social engineering is very fascinating. I think it's a very fascinating job. I think it takes a lot out of the people, but I think it's also fun, and the way they describe it, I always think like, oh man, I can feel that. I think I could do that. But maybe one day. There's not a lot of work for that in Portugal, but maybe one day. As a
Yeah.
you never know.
Oh yeah. You never know what the future holds.
Yeah.
If you do ever make it to DEF CON and I'm there, and you go and compete in the social engineering thing, let me know because I'll come and watch and cheer for you.
All right.
Can't
I
promise I
will.
won't be hooting and hollering in the audience, but bad
I'll get
behavior
you
is
a
the
shirt.
expectation.
We'll have matching shirts or
Yeah,
something.
there you go. Exactly, right? Wear a different hack the box shirt just to mess with you. Um, Thank you for speaking to that. Just because,
Yeah.
where do we go from our current role? It can really I wanted to hit on that just from the sometimes when we get to roles, many folks that are watching this, when you get to your dream job or whatever role you want for like starting out, the question often comes up of where do you want to go from there? And I wanted to speak to that just to cover that of how do your dreams change at that point once you're in industry. So no, thank you
Hmm.
for taking a moment to speak to that. Thanks, Falcon. Falcon added in our peanut gallery. Dark will be searching for the next hardware badge you can purchase. I am a badge fanatic. At I don't have them up on my wall, but I have a couple boxes full of badges because I collect the DEFCON ones. Anyhow, that aside, thank you for speaking to that question. Quick thing for everyone in chat. Feel free to keep asking questions. I am scrolling up and down in chat to be able to see the actually, and here's a great follow-up one. I believe that this is the gal that you were just talking
Oh,
about.
it might
Elite.
be. It might be. I would
I think
have
I might
to
have butchered
search
her
up
name.
the. I would have to search up the episode. I don't know by heart the name. I remember. I don't know many names, to be honest. I'm good with remembering, specific situations, but not the names. So yeah, I can search maybe. It could be.
Yeah, if you find the link, if you want to put it on our private chat, I can always copy that over. Yep. Mark Foudy said, "Yep, that's her."
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, names. But I thought her story was amazing. Yeah, that's her. That's her.
That's cool,
I'll
though.
give you the link.
I was thinking, isn't she covered on a Dark Knight Diaries episode? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Thank
yeah.
you.
No.
Yep, you got it covered there. Thank you. I'll go ahead and put that in chat. We did have one quick follow-up question. Thank you, Chaotic, as well, for mentioning that. Also, thank you for hanging out in chat. Quick shout out. He's one of our admins for the Discord. Yeah, I want to say your title is admin over there right now. I can't remember if we'd shifted title names around, and that's why I was like, sudden realization of, wait a minute, did I say the correct thing? No, thank you so much for hanging out, Chaotic, and for mentioning her name. Real quick, we had a point here from Johnny Kuhn. He had a follow-up question. We were talking about social engineering. I don't know if you would hit on a spot to be able to learn social engineering. This might be referring to the social engineering village at DEF CON, or just the village in general. But wait, where did you say you can learn social engineering? Did you have any thoughts or anything you wanted to add for that?
There's a lot of books. I know there's a lot of books to get you, to help you get into the mindset. I'm not sure. Like, I think it's something that you're also born with, I guess. And from your experience also, you have to, be able to be good to read people, to read the situation, to lie in that case, because most of social engineering is just about lying. So you need to have like a good poker face and maybe be a good actor or something. But
you're describing some sociopathic behavior here, but go on.
Well, isn't it a bit? I think it is.
I mean, it is.
Yeah,
it's yeah, absolutely. It's using that behavior for good.
Yeah, exactly. That's how most people describe it. I mean, even she describes it as that. I remember her saying like
she does. Like you're right.
She would have like a pregnant disguise. She wasn't pregnant. She would just pretend to be pregnant and then try to walk into something. It's I forgot my card. My water just broke, and people was just okay, get in.
I mean, it really goes to show that you need to understand what someone's trying to do when they walk into your business.
Exactly, and yeah, I think you learn that from just interacting with people. I mean, just. Again,
go work with the general public.
Exactly, it is. It's like, again, someone shouting at your face, like, "Wow, I didn't ask for a pint. I asked for a glass of, of wine." And you're just like, "Okay, sir, let me just get that for you." You have to be nice. You have to lie. You need to learn how to, it is a bit of social engirying.
Oh yeah,
you
absolutely.
Work with the public, you just want to tell them to, just go home. And he's like, "Thank you, sir," or "ma'am."
I heard what you said and go home. I heard the go something.
Yeah.
Oh,
have a great day.
I used to work doing tech repair here in the US for Geek Squad, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that being outside of the US. We clip on tie and everything, the whole shebang. But the amount of sociopathic behavior that you witness, and I can only imagine what you see in a setting with alcohol involved.
Oh yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Oh, that was a fun question to hit on. Thank you again, everyone in chat, asking great questions. Let me scroll up. I'm going, just to give everyone in chat an idea of what I'm doing for my sort, I'm going kind of top down to make sure that I do a sort of first in, first out. I'm combining any questions that I see, but that's not to say that I'm not looking for follow-ups in chat. So if you have any questions in chat, feel free to toss them out there. Let's see. This is a fun one. We're going to talk about burnout. We're going to do some topic hopscotch, I guess. As someone keen on getting into a SOC role, do you have any suggestions on mitigating burnout? How do you keep things fresh at work? And for that matter, we can tie in alert fatigue a little bit here.
Well, the best way is not go to work. That is the best way. Don't just don't go. Yeah, that's a great question, because that is one of the main reasons that people will, that will have that will quit the job, or it is hard to maintain that balance. I guess I've learned that before. Again, working with the public, sometimes you just need to step away for a bit, even if it's just 5 minutes. Take a breather. I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore, but it was very common, and it still is, for people just to have a cigarette break. I don't. Obviously, I'm not going to say you should smoke. You can find other ways to do it, to cope with that, but whenever it starts to get too stressful, and you think, I can't stop now, that's when you should stop. Really, it's when you're like overwhelmed. You got like, in the SOC role, you'll have like, maybe, let's say, a ticket system, a dashboard, and you just go like, oh man, this is burning up, and you just need to say like, okay guys, I need 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Because for experience, I think that it's worse that if you work under pressure, that you have more chances to fail. If you just want to, you're under stress, you want to get the job done, but you can't really do it because there's a lot, and you just want to close tickets, and you might miss something. So it's better if you just take 10 minutes and then come back. And then, if you're working from home, I got like a yoga mat, and I got a timer that in every hour I take 5 minutes. So for 5 minutes, I'll just lay on the ground, close my eyes. I'll put the timer 5 minutes, just lay on the ground, close my eyes, so I can just rest a bit, and just let it go. Just let it go for a bit. Just take a lot of breaks, because it is stressful. It is stressful. Like Dark was saying, there's the fatigue, that if you're always looking at the same thing, your brain just starts to disconnect. So yeah, just breaks. Just do something that you like. If you could do some yoga also. If you're working from home, maybe you're not in the office, people will look at you in a strange way. You're like, what is that guy doing again? Or if you smoke, just go for a smoke. Or if you drink, just go for a drink. Or I'm blessed to live in the place that I have a outside garden, so sometimes I just go out for a bit of just chill for a bit, and then come back and try to focus. But it is something that is very relevant in a SOC role. It is, it is always constant. So whatever works for you. I guess that's what I'm saying. That's what I do. I like to take a lot of breaks. Just, it doesn't have to be a lot of time. It's sometimes those 5 minutes, they just work miracles.
Absolutely. And really, it's just that it's so important to have the looking at chat. I shouldn't be looking at chat and reading as I'm trying to put together a thought. That's a bad idea. It's just so important to have that mechanism of how do you take a breather? How do you take a moment to take yourself out of that? And quickly, as a fun health note, I mean, there's a lot of studies that I'm not sure if you've seen this, that the stress is a lot of times what kills you. And I point that out in the work setting because it's actively bad for you, kind of thing. It's just hard on, your whole body. But really, where I was going with that point was the pattern that you put out there for recognizing when you're ready to take that break of like that, increasing stress rate, that trying to think of exactly how you put it. It was the exact time when things are starting to heat up is usually when you need to take a break.
Yeah. It's when you're overwhelmed with,
Yep.
just like, again, I cannot complain. I have an amazing team that also, we look out for each other. And if I say like, I'll be right back, there's no like, oh no, you can't go now. Oh no, where you going? You know, the job gets done, and we don't. Again, it's an amazing team, so we know that we can. It's not like this guy is going for like an hour break or something. We'll be right back. So it's good to have that. To know that your team also has you. And my previous team also, where I used to work, it was actually a presential, so we had to be in the office. It's just like cracking jokes. When things started to get really messy, we would still try to keep it light, try to get a little bit of banter going. It's very, very important to all of those little things. Keep it well with your team. Try to connect with them. Try to make them aware. If you're feeling like, guys, oh, man, my head is going to explode. I need to leave for a bit. Just talk to your team. Talk to your managers also. If you feel like, what, guys, this is, I can't deal with this. This is too much. Yeah, just communication is the key, definitely.
Yeah, and if anything, that shows the trust that you have in your team, that you can have that communication there.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead. No, thank you for speaking to that. I'm of half a mind to return to alert fatigue for a moment. Do you want to dive into that, just because it's kind of a big industry thing?
The fatigue, like we were talking.
Have you alert fatigue? So I guess briefly to define it, since I mentioned I should go into it. Alert fatigue, looking at as you're watching a SOC, making sure that the alerts are refined down enough that you're not you're not overwhelming yourself with a bunch of alerts that mean nothing. Is that something that you've seen a lot in your line of work? Is that something you've had a lot of experience with?
Yeah. I mean, in every kind of, on this kind of environment, you always get it. So we have a lot of automation going, and sometimes it's not completely tuned in, but, the team will, if they see like something is making a lot of noise, we'll just clear it. We'll just like do an automated playbook to try to get it out of the way. If we see like, this is just, something that is not malicious, we'll just, we don't need to see this every 2 seconds, 5 alerts from this specific thing. So as long as you are absolutely sure by the customer, or if it's okay, you can automate it if you have that chance. If you don't, again, there's a really good thing if you can call in sick and not go to work. It's just like, yeah, that's the best way to fight fatigue. No, but automation is the key for those alerts, those kind of alerts.
Yeah, that's a very productive approach to it. A very constructive of, this is what you need to do in that situation. And as someone that started out their career doing purple teaming, doing SOC monitoring, that is really interesting, because I never even thought that, oh yeah, of course the answer eventually becomes automation. I was a baby cybersecurity person at the time, so yeah, but no, thank you for just taking a moment to speak to that. Let's go ahead, scrolling back up. Great conversations in chat, great questions. I'm doing my best to make sure we get to all of them. Leaf Core, I see a question up a little ways in chat with regards to like a ranking system. Briefly answering that. So here, I'll put this on screen so everyone can see what I'm talking about. This is a question, just a hack the box question that I can cover real quick. Not too sure if this has been answered before, but do you see there being a ranking system like there is for proning boxes in Sherlock? I would not be if that's something actually develop. I don't believe that that's something that discussed so far, but I mentioned this as that is a great idea to bring up. I believe we have a feedback form on the Discord that Emma, if you know where that is, and have a link to that, I can always put it in chat. But just to briefly acknowledge ideas, suggestions, anything like this, y'all are always welcome to give us feedback, especially if there's something that you'd really like to see. Oh, sorry, Emma, I put you on the spot there. I say that out of nowhere. Emma, if you have the link to the our feedback form for like ideas or feedback with the site, I believe that that's something you can also submit on the box page for the feedback. But I wanted to make sure I briefly spoke to that just because it's an interesting question, and we have our whole CTF coming up that talks about Sherlock's. So here, let me go ahead and close that. Oh, okay. The command in the Discord is it's /feedback. There you go. And I put that in the YouTube chat there. That's just what that is. Awesome. So taking a quick vibe breather there. Let's go back up to, here we go. Let's talk about the job market because that's a fun conversation, right? I say this just as this in this economy, angry fish, shaking that in a cloud. Yeah. Anyways, this question, I realize this might have mixed application here within this within our conversation, but I felt it was worthwhile talking about it. This one comes from Aurelius. For people who live in Brazil like me, what countries have the best opportunities for me to work on cybersecurity jobs? Are there any countries that you've seen that have good opportunities? Are you seeing that the job market is pretty good in Portugal? Up to you how you want to take this question.
I think it's this area. I mean, there should be amazing job offers everywhere. And being in Brazil, I mean, you have the US just next door. I know that there's still a lot of a lot of talent to be hired for the US. I know that it's a growing market, like I was saying, but I would imagine in Brazil also. I would imagine in Brazil needing to have like an amazing amount of cybersecurity professionals. It's such a big country. It's like 200 million people. So and you need to know how to speak Portuguese, but in Portugal, it's also growing, all over Europe. There's a lot of job offering. If you want to move to, let's say, the Middle East, also, there's a lot of jobs opening there. But, with the current situation, it's a little bit tricky to work in that area. But, there's definitely a lot of countries. And I would imagine that Brazil, particularly, would have a lot of jobs. But if you want to speak just in Portuguese, Portugal is also a good place to go.
Yeah. No, thank you. I know that that's a question that it can be tricky to answer just because, what is the job market like in other countries? It can be hard to get insight into that. So I appreciate you just taking a moment to speak to that just with what you've seen and what you've noticed in the industry. Quick follow-up question. I guess I could have lost the question on screen. Here we go. Let me behave. Finding that market, do you have any recommendations for how someone who is looking for a career might I guess, connect with other cybersecurity folks? Are there like meetups, finding job listings online? Do you have any thoughts on that? Any recommendations what you'd have for maybe new folks or someone that's just trying to connect with the industry?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the best way I had and still going, it was the Hack the Box meetings. It was good. Not trying to sell this here, but it was my first experience in like this sort of community. And on the first time I went, I made connections straight away. So I mean, but I'm quite a outgoing guy, so very very easygoing. So I'll just start a conversation with anyone. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just like curious to get to know people and all of that. So the meetups are quite good. If you have anything similar, in where you live, just have a Google, just Google it and try to have a look and see if there are any, events going that, that are related to cybersecurity. Or just go to like the big events, like DEF CON, Black, is it Black Hat? Black Hat
Yep.
also. I think
Yep.
Black Hat
Black
is more
Hat.
for for more for companies, isn't it? But
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a sales environment compared to DEF CON. Yeah.
okay. Here in Portugal, in November, there's going to be something called B-Sides in Lisbon. So I went last year. This year, I'm going again. It's the same. It's kind of like a DEF CON, but very, very chill. Just very for a small, audience. It's not as big, but it's it's that concept. So just try to go to those places and just talk to people. You'll find that most people are very, very, welcoming. They want to talk to you also, and if you just, start conversation, like you can even start like, hi, I'm new here. Can you help me? I'm new to the internet. You sure? I'll be your guide. Come with me. And LinkedIn is also a good. It's also a very amazing way to grow your network. So, for example, you can add me to LinkedIn, and then you can see which people I'm connected to, and then just start growing that. Hack the Box. They have like the Discord. There's loads of people there that you can just. Oh, anyone want to do a challenge or anything? It's just people are more receptive than you think. There's amazing people out there. So yeah, just don't be afraid. The worst thing they can say is no, and if they say no, you can just move to the next one. I was just like, oh, all right, I'll just move to the next one then.
I like to imagine that there's worse things they could say than no from a comedic standpoint, but I'd like to keep it there just for the conversation for, um, oh goodness. No, I realize a bit of a different direction with that, but I wanted to add that in there just as make that connection. It can always be hard finding the community at first. And I would even say, not to say that, oh, you're just, you're here, you're doing great things. But at the same time, if you're watching this live stream, it does show that you are taking you're taking what you're doing seriously. Employers, a lot of the times, just to briefly add a little bit of advice onto that, just extra context. I find that employers oftentimes are looking to see just how much you care and how much you're willing to spend your personal time in learning and taking this seriously. Hugo, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even here where I work, I have a good connection also with the managers, and I like to tell them, what I'm up to. I invited them also to attend, just and they were very excited. Like, Hugo, I'm very excited for you. I mean, this is a great opportunity for you. I like that you doing this. It shows that, we just don't want to sit down and wait for things. I'm always trying to learn, and also they do not push, but they want us to thrive. They want us to learn also. So they will get us into some certifications or something, just to keep on going and to keep learning. I think that's very important. You just need to keep that ability, and that you need to keep learning, because this is a big world. I mean, I'm only here for 2 years, and there's so much I want to learn. And but step by step, just don't try to overdo it. But my company, they really enjoy that we take, like you said, that personal time to just like, yeah, sure, just keep giving back to the community, just try to learn. I was very, I had really kind words from the people above, and they said like, yeah, go for it, man. I'm really happy for you to be doing this.
Now we have kind of an interesting, I guess, follow-up question on that. Not necessarily follow-up, but I think that this one relates to it. This is from Sergio. who I am sorry, I'm just on a roll with names today. I'm usually better than this. Uh, what was the biggest challenge you faced during your first months in the SOC, and how did you overcome it? So again, talking about that, learning about that, facing the challenge of when you're new and breaking the industry. What did you find was your biggest challenge there?
Right. So, hi, Sergio. Thank you for the question. So when I started, before I started, I told my wife that I knew that it would be challenging because SOCs are usually 24/7. So you will need to work shifts, and then you have, um, different days off. You'll have a rotating rotor, all of that. So I said, like, I need to give this a go. So for the first year, I know that I'll probably just have to go to the office. I'll just have to go whatever, shifts they're gonna give me. So if I have to work the night shift, I have to work the night shift. And I lived about an hour away, so I would drive a little motorcycle to work. So my biggest challenges, yeah, were I was remote before that job, so it was getting back to the office. Not that I love being at the office. I love being at home. I love being at the office. Um, the biggest challenges were the shifts. Yeah, the hours that you lose going to the office. Every day, it would be 1 hour there, 1 hour back, so 2 hours commuting. Um, sometimes not seeing the kids, depending on what time you would finish or start work, and then starting at the SOC, the job is almost always the same, but uses different tools. So you just need to take time to understand the new tools, the new customers, to read a lot of stuff. But I guess that the main challenge was shifts. Yeah, just working different shifts. It was hard. Driving a motorcycle at 7 a.m. also in a very rainy and cold day. It wasn't very, very it wasn't the best experience, but there were some positive things. I think when you go to the office, you learn a lot quicker. You're surrounded by people. There's a lot of knowledge. You get to see the people. Again, it helps with that fatigue. It helps because you're surrounded with people. You can talk a bit. You can joke around. You can have lunch. Also, when you're at home, there's a lot of good, positive things, but it does get very, very lonely. I'm very happy when I have to go to the office, and meet my coworkers. And when we go out for a meal, I'm very, very excited to get out of the house per se. So yeah, I guess that if you're starting, and especially in the SOC environment, my mindset was, it's not forever. Nothing lasts forever. Everything, good things and bad things. So if just give yourself like a timer, like, okay, for 6 months, I know that I have to go to the office. I have to do, different shifts. I have to work, maybe Saturday or Sunday, but it will change, or I'll look for something different that suits me better. But just always try to keep a positive, because again, nothing will be, bad forever or good. So yeah, that was how did I overcome it? Yeah, I had a good team. I had fun when I was in the office. Also, um, I had colleagues that helped me. I had fun. The job was sometimes it wasn't as fun, but it's always the people that make it better. So I think that I found good friends there, and that really helps.
Caught me off guard when I was writing a note
Mhm.
down. I see what you're doing. I
Yeah, I
see what this
saw
is
it and I
about.
went for it. I was like, yeah, he's writing.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that. feel like I just gave you a dialogue choice of John will remember that. But see myself out after that joke. Goodness gracious. So you first I wanted to acknowledge you spoke to something that I found really interesting. The return to work from being remote, and then unfortunately you had the circumstance where you needed to go back in the office, but you found that silver lining of you get to see your team. You get to see your team with that. And I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate that you spoke to that. Before I move on to, we had a question about remote work, about how to find that and just understanding remote work a little bit more. Did you have any other thoughts that you wanted to share with that going back to the office, or would you like to jump to the remote work question?
I mean, we can put them together in a way. I mean, it's
here. I'll put the remote work question up, and I can read this one real quick. It's from Trailer G. I'm jumping to this to the end of the chat. There we go. Also, welcome. You're not late to the party at all, the bearded IT dad. I'm saying something because I really like your username on YouTube. Trailer G asks, remote jobs found. Yeah. Movie trailer thing for their avatar. That's fun. Though. So they ask, looking for remote jobs, how can they be found? How do you set yourself up to be able to get to them? Setting yourself up for success to be able to have a remote role. Yeah, and then talking about that if you have to go back to the office.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess that remote job also comes from experience. I mean, you need to feel confident yourself, and obviously the person that's going to hire you, they need to know that it is okay for you to do your job in a remote way, that you are, that you can do it. And I mean, getting back to the office right now, for me, like if it had to be every day, it would be very, very difficult. Again, I love being at the office. It's more of the commute challenge now rather than, if the office was like 5 minutes away or 10 or even 20, that would be no problem. But I live far away from the office now. So how to find remote jobs? I mean, mate, there's loads of platforms that you can literally just search for remote jobs. How to get them, sometimes that's a little trickier. So I think that people will try to look for professionals that have been working in the area for some time. I don't think that someone that is starting will start with a remote job. And for me personally, I think that it really helped me to get into the office. So I think I learn. It's just my way. I think I learn quicker if I'm with someone there, and even if it's like 3-4 people, the better, because that way you can grab a little bit of this, hear a little bit of that, and you get a global understanding of all of it. But looking for jobs, there's a lot of jobs that advertise for full remote. Some of them are hybrid, but yeah, I mean, just get the experience, work for a company for, even sometimes 6 months to a year, and you'll start to get approached by people like, oh, do you want to have an interview for a remote job? And you're just like, oh yeah, sure. All right. Or, but yeah, just look at the platforms. LinkedIn again it's a very good place to just put yourself out there and try to apply. Just apply to everything. I always say to my to the people that that I meet, just do a lot of interviews. Interviews are free. It's a great tool to you lose nothing. There's only it's a win-win situation. You don't pay for interviews, right? If they're 100% remote, most of them. I don't think a lot of people done presential interviews. I haven't done one of those since forever.
Oh yeah, it's when did that last happen?
Exactly. Everything's online. So I mean, yeah. Interviews are free. They're a great way for you to get yourself, in the interview scenario. So just do as much, as many interviews as you can. Again, worst thing they can say is no. just apply to apply.
What? Oh, go ahead. Good. I'm just messing with you. The worst they can
Yeah.
say is no. I mean, they could ask for your, like, I don't know, firstborn child or something. All that fun. Oh,
What kind of jobs are you applying to?
uh,
What?
the ones that pay, sir.
Wow.
No, God. Uh, God. I'm just really committed to seeing how many tangents I can get us on this morning. Just a really, it's a you're trapped with me scenario. That's what we're going for. But where were we? What I wanted to say that was productive. Before that comment was you mentioned interviews are free. You've repeated that point a couple times, and I just wanted to say how much that's a really well refined advice. It's a very polished statement, and I just wanted to acknowledge just how much I appreciate you putting that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, I keep saying this to,
Mhm.
even the people that are starting, on this line of work or any kind of work. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is. Think about it. It's free. It's a free training. Maybe for the interview that you really need to nail, just do like 50 interviews. There's nothing to lose from it. You only get more experience. You get to know yourself. You get to know the questions, although they all ask different questions. But maybe there's a couple of questions there that you see that that they always ask, or just prepare yourself for the next one. And the good thing is, like, they're like little fish, the Dory thing. They forget they interviewed you after a while. They interview so many
You're
people.
right, though. That's a really good point.
So if you mess up the first time, maybe the second time is better. Just go for it. Don't be afraid.
I really appreciated the Dory comparison because that is what it is.
It is.
I guess unless you make a really bad stinky
Oh
impression,
yeah.
then they're like, "Oh, it's you." Oh, okay. I wanted to say, Hugo, you've done that before, right? You've done
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
the
you're fully
yeah.
clothed this time.
That is direction, sir. I guess for some interviews you're not necessarily close, so that is a thing.
Oh, is the camera on?
Is the camera in the room with us?
Oops.
I also wanted to throw out there that if you're ever paying for an interview, that interview is for a pyramid scheme.
Yes. Don't pay for an interview.
And if you do, at least get something cool out of it, I guess. But it's probably a pyramid scheme. Back to meanwhile, back at the ranch. We had an awesome question here that we're diving into a little bit of technical stuff, so it's a little bit of a vibe change, but I did say I was going to go in order, and I want to make sure I cover as many questions as I can. Question: what does an ideal triage workflow look like for a level 1 analyst? When an alert comes in, what key pieces of context should they be gathering immediately? What does it look like when you're triaging an alert?
Right. Hi, Zishan. It's good question. I mean, it all depends, obviously. So if you have like a PowerShell command popping up, maybe that's a bit of a depend. Like, always ask who, why, what, when. All of those. Who's spawning a PowerShell? Is it you know? Is it Alice from accountant? Why is she why is she putting up some badass PowerShell commands out there? Maybe Alice shouldn't be doing that. But maybe it's just a script. Maybe it's just a script running in the background. So um, I guess for level 1, I mean, obviously, if you're not sure, just straight away to level 2, to someone that knows, and like, does this look malicious to you? And and but obviously, before you do that, see what it is, who's doing it, and just try to recognize any commands, or in this case, talking about PowerShell, obviously. But if you see like no profile hidden window, you're like, maybe this is a bit weird, and then you're like, okay, maybe I should take this to the next level. But again, it might just be a script running in the background. You have like daily scripts that people, they don't want, the pop-ups to come out with a script going. So yeah, but just try to and then you'll start learning, like, okay, this is definitely malicious, this is trying to access an IP that is flagged as a C2 server. Yeah, maybe I should escalate this. Oh, it's just Alice again. Let's ignore this. Yeah.
We had a follow-up comment. I just thought it was worthwhile putting on there. Go ahead.
Damn it, Alice.
I linked, by the way, the Bob and Alice, so that if for anyone in chat who's not familiar with Bob and Alice, these fictional characters we're talking about, I put a Wikipedia link in there. It's just a common scenario for InfoSec stuff. Not to break your train of thought there, or two. That's kind of funny too. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it might just be, non-malicious. It's just something running on Alice's computer, or maybe Alice's computer was compromised. So always try to look for anything. So anything that is malicious, and if you find something malicious, yeah, just definitely escalate it. But if you're not sure, so the triage only works if you really, I think, experienced. So, but if you're not, just, I always say, like, I love asking questions. So I still ask questions to my seniors. What do you think of this? And they'll just say, mate, that looks good, but just escalate it. If you're not sure, just be sure, escalate it. There's nothing. There's more to gain from that than the other way around, because it might be malicious, and then you didn't do anything about it. So try to understand how specific people work, and try to see, look, I see this every day, so this is not malicious. Okay, so this has some malicious, this looks a little bit suspicious. Suspicious is not malicious. So yeah, try to understand also, if it looks suspicious but it's not malicious, just try to understand why it's not malicious. But ask a lot of questions. So level 1 analyst, just ask away, man. I mean, I love when people ask me questions. It makes me feel like, okay, maybe people trust me a bit. That's not as bad. Because I've
had that exact thought of, maybe people trust me. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. No, we don't have to know everything, and I'm glad I don't. But Google is your friend also. AI helps you a lot. So there's a lot of scripts, like big ass scripts, that you would take a long time to get to read all of that. So if AI can help you read a script, and then you just make sure you understand what's happening. Don't trust AI as a oh, okay, so Chat GPT says it's okay. Yeah, maybe not.
Are you saying I can't run random code off the internet? Why I never.
Exactly.
Sure, that's part of my freedom as an American to do that. Please and thank you.
It is true.
You mentioned a couple interesting points that I want to go back and kind of dive into. Let me go ahead. Thank you as well, Zishan, for that question. I've seen that, Zishan, you have a number of questions in here. I'm trying to make sure that I roll them into some other questions, but you've asked a lot of really great things. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that. We've had a number of questions that, so you mentioned false positives, but the angle I want to take on it is really tickets or alerts you might be unsure on. That you kind of hit onto a little bit more from that. You also hit on AI being your friend, and we'll get to that in a moment. There's plenty of AI questions about that not being your friend. So talking about false positives, things you might not be sure on, how do you handle those? How do you deal with false positives? False negatives too, if you want to cover that in this question. Let me find a question that applies to this so I can put something up on screen. But if you want to go and speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, false positives are 90% of the job. Thankfully, it's false positives is just you'll get loads of false positives. It's just a lot of stuff happening in the background. So I would say, yeah, maybe 90% to 95% is thankfully false positives. It still takes manpower to have a look at them. You still need to have fresh eyes and keep even if you do know that for a fact that is a false positive, we just try to always have a look again and again and again just to make sure. So it is okay to see what happened in the past, but just don't assume that it is the same thing, because it might change something, and that's when it gets dangerous. False negatives won't be as fun. you know it does happen because obviously, like we were mentioning before, if you get like a burnout, well, not a burnout, but the fatigue, if you start to get a lot of work and you get slammed and you're trying again, like, to get everything done because you want to or you have to, and when that time comes, like I was saying, that you need a break, that's when most mistakes happened, and you can just like misread something. So false negatives, they have happened. They will continue to happen. It's only human. Again, we try, our best when we have our meetings. Again, to address this, please take a moment. And if it looks malicious, just escalate it. Ask opinions. Again, just go Google it. Ask your teammates, ask your managers, and just escalate it to the customer. Again, maybe most of the time they'll just say, "It's fine, mate. It was just me. It was just me doing a random scan on the network. No enumeration. Yeah, it wasn't Alice. It was me. Okay, Bob."
We had a comment that speaks to it roughly from that. I don't know if you've seen this a lot on your SOC, but this is something I dealt with a lot, of the random bot brute force attempts from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Being a number one cause for like false positives and stuff. I pulled it up just as a related comment.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of that. Yeah, because the bots just get like crazy. So no, I don't get that many now, but I remember like we would get like loads, and then you just go to like Virus Total or anything, and people like saying, "Yeah, this is a bot. This is a botnet just trying to brute force," and it's like, all right, okay, but yeah, I mean, false positives, again, they're the main. They're the main. 95% of the time, the workflow is false positives. You get to know them. Again, even if you know them, you just have a look and see if it's the same thing, the exactly same thing. And if it's still not malicious, it's okay. It's something that usually happens in that system. But I always trust my team. I trust their judgment. Again, I'm not afraid to ask. I think we should never feel like, oh, I'm being annoying, or I should know this by now, mate. If you're not sure, just ask. It's okay. It's best if you ask than someone comes over and says, you missed this, and now the guy's got like 300 endpoints that have been compromised. It's yeah, you don't want that to happen. Not that it did, but well, it probably did at some point. It will to someone.
Yeah, I really appreciate you covered the don't be afraid to be annoying, and how important it is to ask questions. And I just wanted to reiterate that of just something that is there's so much value in that. And I'm sure you've seen this. It can almost be that difference of you succeeding or you just sitting in your role and not learning anything. That can you ask those questions?
Me, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm always asking questions. I mean, it's and I keep chatting with my colleagues. Well, I mean, we have like a VSOC environment, like where we're just all connected. And if there's something there, we're just like, "Mate, can you jump in and help me with this? What do you think?" And then and if anyone finds anything interesting, also sometimes they don't really need help; they just want to help. They'll just say, "Look, guys, I just found this. This is really interesting," and they'll just show it. Like, "I found this and this, and this will take to this and that was encrypted, and this and that," and we're like, "Whoa, okay, that was badass. Actually, that was really, really good." So yeah, we had like different examples of that already, and we do also some like we call it brown bags, that we just like showcase things that are valuable for the work. And I mean, it's amazing. We have a good culture. Again, I have an amazing team that I can count on, and that's what really I really, really like about this job.
No, I not enough times it's important to talk about what you like in your role. And I really appreciate you hitting on that, especially, talking about being able to rely on your team, talking about, what you get for enjoyment out of it, the fun activities. One thing I wanted to repeat, you mentioned someone finds something interesting and everybody kind of huddles around. Just a fun tidbit on the pen testing team that I've been on. We do the same thing, but from the
Yeah.
offensive side of things of, "Hey, I found something dumb. Y'all want to come and poke at this with me?" And I thought you'd appreciate the mirror of, no, it's a bunch of dinguses huddled around a piece of glass. Same thing, exact same thing. Maybe a little bit more of seat of our pants that we don't have to catch everything. We just have to find our way in. But I figured you'd find that mirror really just fun.
It is, yeah. We're just dudes, isn't it? I mean, if you find like someone doing like a barbecue, well, like, "What are you doing there? We got some barbecue going." Wait,
Smells kind of nice over there. What you
yeah,
cooking?
yeah. What you using? Coal? Yeah, I like coal.
I'm gonna
Gotta-
I'm gonna be repeating that over at giving me so many bad jokes to take back to my team. Um Selfishly, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta write these down." Here, let me go ahead. I will go ahead and grab another question here. Just kind of on a lighter note. This is one that I'll go ahead and read this out loud. I want to broaden this question a little bit as I say it. Sub-Zero plays COD asked, "Yes, I will read your full channel name out because I think it's funny to read it in a fun context like this." Thank you for the great question, I should say. Before I'm just like, let me poke fun at you. No. This is a great question. Can you share a few interesting points about red teaming job? Or really about your job? Maybe what do you find interesting about what you do? Have you seen anything that you find interesting when you're looking at offense? I know you've expressed interest in going to offense.
Yeah, sure. By the way, Sub-Zero is the best character. Just love Sub-Zero, and
Okay,
he's
yeah, that's a
blue.
hard fact there. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But he's blue, so he's blue team for sure.
Oh,
He's
okay.
he's definitely blue team. Now, all jokes aside, which
I'm
is
gonna go cry
best?
in offense. Go ahead.
So, best. I mean, this is definitely that. There's no answer. There's no right answer for this. Obviously, some people would prefer red. Some people would prefer blue. Um, Again, I've only worked for blue team, so I can't really say that I would prefer be doing what the red team. I do know for a fact that I have a friend that works in the red team, pen tester, and I know they're more relaxed. Their job is a little bit more of I have time to do this, or they have a lot of fun. They can have their time to find their way in, then to work. And I think the blue team, especially in a SOC environment, you're always under pressure, so it's 24/7. So you don't really choose when to do it; it just happens. So it's a very reactive kind of environment. So if you want to take things slower, I guess, not taking a make out of the pen testers or anything, but it is more relaxed. They do have, deadlines. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
were
got
saying
something to
that.
say to me? You got
No, it's while the blue team just has to go like, yeah, just as long as tickets are coming, you just have to be there. You don't really choose what's happening on someone's network unless the pen testers are, doing it, and you're like, what? Alice again? It's
I
just
don't know what you're talking about. I just can't. I'm downloading a picture of a dog off the internet. I don't know what you're talking about. I did not send those packets, sir.
I think the best is when blue and team work together. I mean, that's
Oh my
the
gosh,
that's the
yes.
point. Yeah, that's the best. If you
Well, you
can
get to
work,
teach each other.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, and if I understand that sometimes they need to like, oh, okay, let's mess with those guys and let's just do a, a little end map to that.
I
And
see
you're
how
like,
it
oh my
is.
God, what's
Okay.
happening? Okay, so that's fine. That's their job, and we're supposed to detect it. So, but if both teams work together, I mean, that's amazing. Because then I remember, like, I haven't asked him for a while, but I used to ask him a lot of stuff like, hey, mate, what do you think of this? And he's like, oh, that's a nice script you got there. I know
Be
exactly what that
ashamed if
guy's
something
doing.
happened to it.
Yeah.
Um,
And to have the insight of people, like, they know what's happening, they've seen that script, they use it themselves. So, it's very, very good. And to know. But again, there's no best team to work. It's just
mm,
depends on you, on what you like. Like, I would like to learn a bit more about red teaming again, like penetration testing. It doesn't necessarily, like, social engineering is pen testing,
oh
physical
yeah.
pen testing. So um, again, it all depends on what you like. Um, so if you're Sub-Zero, you'll like blue. Yeah.
I appreciate you. Saw you loop that back. That's good
Mm.
narrative writing right there. That's you're trying to get me a podcast Emmy or whatever the heck they are. I say that like I just no. Let me go ahead. Uh, close that down. We're gonna jump just a little bit ahead, real quick. I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge the questions in chat because we're getting some awesome ones here. Dracius, I saw your question. We're going to get to it here in just a bit. I saw you posted a couple times, and I do really like that question. Cornelia Meow, I'm going to go ahead and jump to your question right now, and then I'll jump around a little bit, just make sure we get some fun ones in there. This is a question really for beginners, and since you've seen a lot of the learning, what I lovingly have heard called tutorial hell, a lot. Cornelia asks, there's a lot of stuff to learn in cybersec and IT overall. Do you have any advice on how to learn new stuff more efficiently? Really, how do you learn effectively?
Well, do you prefer videos or do you prefer to read? There's like two kinds of people when it comes to this.
Mhm.
Me personally, I prefer videos. Um, it just helps me concentrate, like, with the audio and the video, because sometimes when I'm reading, my mind just goes all over the place. So I would prefer to watch videos. But before I started into the cybersecurity boot camp, they gave us some modules to learn, to, like, fundamentals, and those were actually hack the box modules, like the fundamentals, like the network, Windows, Linux, introduction to Linux, all of those. And I found them very, very useful, like, because you can take your time, again, just take your time. There's no rush on doing it. It's not an exam. You can just, like, I think those are like 3 hours each or 6 hours, so you can do them quite easily, and get to know you probably know most of the stuff if you use, like, Windows. So, but it is good to start with those. And I mean, there's loads of amazing videos on YouTube. If you prefer videos, just to, and one of the things that I found that are really, really helping is, like, doing the challenges, the Sherlocks, and then whenever I stuck at something, just read about it and try to find the answer. I found that those challenges make me search for something, and when you search for something, you're actively remembering stuff. And I found that those are the best, practice.
Mm.
So just practice a lot of the challenges, the boxes, all of those. They really really help me. But again, everyone has a different path. So again, if I know that some people prefer to read, they can concentrate, and I find that amazing because me is just like, once upon a time, oh, what's for dinner tonight? Oh man, and then it's gone. It's gone straight away. It's very hard, but yeah, I find videos on YouTube very very good. And again, you can just go and find something like, if you cannot find a video, you just try reading, or vice versa.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I appreciate you covering that, just because the different ways that you can learn, finding what's right for you, finding what's engaging. We have a question that's related to that, and it's related to the conversation we were having right before we skipped onto that point regarding learning. Blue team and red team. Arashi asks, focus on one from the start or try both. I'm torn but want to learn fast. I find that they're sister fields, and the information, it's all linked whether you like it or not.
Hmm. True. Hi, Arashi. Good question. I mean, yeah, like Dark was saying, they are connected in a way. So, but obviously, again, try to find what really motivates you. Is it more, I'm trying to discover a way in, or I'm trying to keep people out? What kind of person are you? Like, I find the blue team is more of a like the name Sherlock, but it's more like a detective. What happened?
It's that who done it. You need to
Yeah,
want to investigate.
exactly. And or if you like Ocean's 11, the part of like, we're going to rob that bank, uh which one do you want to be, a Sherlock, or do you want to be the guy that robs the bank? You know?
The way you said that was me.
Oh, there goes my internet.
Can
Hello?
you hear me okay
Oh,
still?
okay,
Hello?
I'm back.
There we
I'm back. I think
Yay!
that, yay.
Awesome. The way you said that, we could rob that bank, it was making me think of there's an episode where it's Bill Clinton and Peter in Family Guy, and they say, we could eat that pig, man. It's just making me think of that. We could rob that bank, man. Um, do you have any thoughts on that? Do you want to expound upon that?
Yeah, I'm so on the pig, or on the bank.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna go a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I think
will
you
link
should
what episode
definitely
I'm talking
focus on
about.
one. Me personally, I think you should focus on one as your main. So, since I started on blue, I'm trying to get more into trying to find more tools, trying to work with them, trying to get better at this. Certification wise, I'm doing trainings more related to the blue team. Again, I still want to learn more about pen testing and all of that, but again, it is a lot to learn. Take your time, don't be in a rush, because you can get overwhelmed. I there was a stage that I wanted to do everything, because I thought, oh, you know what, I'm getting older here.
We could eat
There's
that
like,
pig, man.
okay,
That's what it is. I mean,
it
and
is,
it's because everything is so exciting.
yeah. And but I was also doing some negative, I was comparing myself to like really successful people. It was like, oh, he's got that certification, I need to get that. And then I was like, oh, he's got that certification, I need to get that. Oh, he knows about this, he's been to that. And don't compare yourself in a negative way. Take your time. We all take, some take more time, some take less. So just take your time, pick something, and just try to do it from start to end, so you don't get like, oh, I was doing this one, but now this one seems cooler. Now just go for it. Just go from one, just from start to finish. Try not to get anything in between, because otherwise your mind just mine at least went that way. I just wanted to do everything, and I end up doing nothing of the things that I wanted to do. So I had to take a step back and just say like, no, I need to. Okay, I'm going to focus on Security Plus, for example. That was one of them. So I had to focus on that because I was trying to do that and other certifications. It was just like, no, I need to focus on this one first. So I'm going to do it. Or was that after the other? Well, I had to stop. I had to stop and just like take a step back and do one thing at a time, because it is overwhelming, man. There's a lot of information. Like Dark said, it's all connected, but you need a good foundation to see how it connects. You can't just know that it connects. You need to understand how it connects. And when it does click, it will just be like, oh, okay, yeah, this, and okay, and now makes sense. Don't try to force it. There's still time. Again, I'm 41 years old, 41 years young, as you would say it. And I just have that
begins
mindset.
at 50. So, I mean, you're -9.
Exactly. Good. I like that. -9. I'll start saying
you're a rounding error.
I'll start saying that to people. How old are you? I'm -9. Oh,
yeah. They'll figure it out, right? You work with smart people. They'll figure it out, right? Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, take your time, man. I mean, again, if you have the time, go and look. Just do some blue team stuff. Just do some red team stuff and see what you like, and take it slow, man. Don't. There's a lot of room for everyone.
Absolutely. Great advice. Let me go ahead. Ollie, you mentioned your question. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up because it's directly related to what we're talking about. Hey, I've been working in the SOC for a few years now, so very similar to position to what you've been in, Hugo. And I feel, I put this up and my camera's in front of it, and I feel like my knowledge is stagnating. I'm going to make this as goofy as I can. I recently started the pen test path, but I'm not sure if I should take the SOC path instead. What's your recommendation? This may be referring to the pen test and SOC path that we have on our site. You can take this a little bit more generally if that's that might be an easier way to answer it. How do you focus?
Hi, Ali. Good question. Again, what drives you? What is that you're trying to get from all? If pen testing is something that you like and you recently started it, how do you feel about it? I mean, is it something that you see yourself doing? I mean, you already have the skills in SOC, and if you feel like you're not moving, it's probably because there's not a lot of movement. You can go to maybe level 2, senior, and maybe move from SOC to digital forensics. Like I said before, it is an area that I really, really would like. Not all companies have that, and I know there's a lot of there's a lack of professionals also in digital forensics, because you need to know how to look for stuff, and that's fun. It's it's more of a detective work, and it's a bit more relaxed in a way. You still have time to it's not as reactive as being in the SOC. But me, again, I'm quite interested in going for the pen test path myself. Hopefully this year on the Hack the Box, I have the voucher for one of the exams. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going for the SOC path or the pen testing, because I heard the pen test path is quite good. But if you already have like a good set skills on the SOC, maybe just go for the pen test. See what you like. See if it works. See if it connects. I think that you need to have also a bit of a passion for the red team. It's not just something that that obviously it's something that you learn, but you need to like, okay, I find this really, really interesting to try to break in to try to get all these vulnerabilities. It's fun. It's fun to break in without any consequences in a way. It's and you got a team, and you get to learn a lot. But SOC, I guess that I understand how SOC can be more. Again, the fatigue. You can get easily more bored than pen testing. So, Ali, I mean, it's how long have you? Does he say how long? Oh, well, for a few years now. Yeah, I mean, if you see, maybe would you like to be a manager? A SOC manager. Is that something that you would like? You can always go for a SOC manager if you feel like you can manage your team. That's also a good path if you want to go up. If you want to be like a company, the CISO, being in the SOC is always good. Just work your way up there. If you really, really want that. I don't think I ever wanted to be that. A CISO. I think it's a lot of responsibility, man. A lot of responsibility for me. But yeah. See what you feel, man. If you feel tired already from SOC, yeah, just give it a try, mate. I mean, give it a try. There's always another SOC job. There's always another SOC job waiting for you if pen testing, if you don't like it.
Am I your backup job? Is that what I'm hearing? Is it? Oh, no, I'm just giving you a hard time. For what it's worth, I would say that having done both, you mentioned a little bit of like the fatigue and some of the downtime, the slower times in SOC. Pentest has that same sort of downtime when you're running scans and whatnot, a lot of evaluation. And I add that just to fill in the the mirror of that, just for interest, because I'm just fortunate to have been in both roles. And I say that of there's a lot of your downtime is full of thinking time, which is it still comes at that same speed. Not to be actually you. No. Just adding that in is a sort of coloring in that picture more. We had a follow-up question from Chris Strowens. How long have you been working in cybersecurity? I think you might have mentioned this at the beginning, but worthwhile revisiting it.
So about 2 years now. Only 2 years. So yeah, I started in I'm not sure, but I think it was 2023 when I started. So yeah, just 2 years. I started with I was 39 when I got my first job in cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
No, thank you for answering that. It shows that the time in your position, it's really about gaining that experience, and you build on that. You have the opportunity to move just as you build yourself. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Here, I'll put your thank you on screen real quick. Ollie, thank you for answering.
You're welcome, Ollie.
Let's see. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in as well. This is not to wrap things up. I'm just thanking everyone for being here. Mr. Prophecy, I saw you in chat as well. Thank you for being here. Let me move. Let's see. I had a follow-up question for you, I promise. There was one in here. Let me go ahead. I did say I was going to get to Drysius their question. I thought it was a very well-written one. This is about standing out. So Dracius asked, as a cybersecurity student, it's becoming more and more apparent how brutal the current job market is. I would say that depends on the area, like what part of the world you're in. If it's a very saturated area for the job market, some areas are much more of a desert where you can find access. I say that just to pump a little bit of hope into that question. But standing out is still really important. How can an emerging professional stand out in either red/blue teaming or in pen testing? So how do you stand out? How have you stood out in your own role?
Good question, Dracius. Hi, nice question. How did I? Wow. Well, I think that again, the meetups are a very good place to start. Trying to get to know people. That shows that you're actively, you're looking and you're trying to expand your network. When you're expanding your network, you can chat with people and you can say like, okay, I'm looking for a job. I'm starting in cybersecurity. I'm trying to get more people. Do you know anyone that, that is hiring? And they will say, well, maybe I don't, but I know this guy. Maybe you should, had him on LinkedIn. Then go on LinkedIn. Try to get as many people as you can on your network. Try to follow the blogs. Try to follow anything that is looking for a job. Try to find what's common in it. Like I said, interviews are free. You can always try to get as many interviews, but try to see what they're all looking for. So if they're all looking for maybe the same certification and you don't have that, maybe you can think, okay, maybe I'll just, pocket this myself and get the certification because I see that this is a valuable certification. I think that I stood out due to my experience, maybe previous experience, my age, my previous experience. I remember some interviews. People would say, you can start as the bottom or a junior position, but with your experience, I can think that maybe we can move you to manager in the future because you've managed a team if you're willing. I already had some job offers also for managing a team, not for my cybersecurity, experience, but from my previous experiences. Be active in the community. Again, any blogs that you can, maybe even again LinkedIn, post stuff. Try to grow your network. Networking is everything. If you know a lot of people and you're looking for a job, I'm pretty sure that like 70% sure that you will get a job through someone you know in your network. So how can an emerging professional stand out? Yeah, I guess that at this time is certifications, and then just show that you're a team player. Make sure that you're respectful. You come to work on time. Just don't think you're that special. Some people think they're very, very special. Just be a team player, man. And just get along with your team. If your team likes you, that's 90% of the job done. Like it makes it easier.
Hugo, Dracius had a quick follow-up context on that. And I can speak to the US market as well a little bit.
Okay.
But I wanted to pull this up on screen for you. You also have some love from, I would assume, your coworkers in Portugal. Hold on. I'll briefly pull this up. We have an important question, and I will interrupt our flow of why did you shave your mustache?
Oh man. It was it was a divorce situation, maybe. Almost. She was like, "Nah, shave that off, mister. Shave that off. One of us is leaving. It better be that mustache."
Okay. Oh, and here, I'll go to Miguel's question, or other question here in a moment. Do you have anything you wanted to add for Dracius? I can add a little bit of context for the US market. Not to put you on the spot and say, you have more to add?
So a lot of security clearances, yeah, and the competitive. So I think this goes a bit to that other question, like is military relevant to the job? I guess in this case it might be, yeah. So like you mentioned, a lot of people that been and served in the military or any law enforcement agency, they will have probably clearances, and they can easily find a job in the area. So I wouldn't know about the competitive pressure, but I believe what can make you stand out. I mean, in Portugal, there's also a lot of competitive. I would say a lot of competitive pressure. It's just that not going.
Funny you should mention that. That's Miguel's question.
Oh, Miguel. So it's just that I think there's a lot of people that lie in their CV. So a lot of competitive.
What? I know. Over here.
Just because, and companies find this very, very quickly. They can figure it out if you're just like bad at, maybe you can last a month, maybe you can play it for like cool for 2 or 3 months, but they'll figure it out. There's a lot of rotation in this area. I think, again, SOC is an area that it always needs a lot of people because of the shifts. There's a lot of pressure also, and people just find different paths to go. But maybe in pen testing, I guess it would be more competitive. I guess that it's harder to get into the red team than it is to the blue. But I also know that you need to be really, really good to get into the red team. You need to know your shit. You need to be good, a good professional. I'm not saying that you don't need to be like that in blue or in a SOC environment. Not what
I had
saying.
Not read into the question that way yet, and I'm disappointed in myself not catching that.
I think this, so the cyber sector in Portugal it's growing. But compared to, I work for an American company now. I don't have a lot of experience with, a lot of companies in Portugal, but I do really like, the company I work for, very, very different. It's been around for a long, long time. Also, this project hasn't been around for that long, but it's well structured. Obviously, it's got a big up and down, but it's steady. It's a very good service, and it's a very good culture and company. In Portugal, I know that there's some good companies also operating. Obviously, there is, and they get all the good guys. Because you're only as good as the people that you hire. So, but I think it's a competitive market. There's still very big room to grow. Also. Felipe,
you're getting some love in chat. I just want to pull that up.
All right,
please. There we go. First, so I do have a question for you just for scheduling. We're about at time. Are you okay with me running over a couple minutes?
Yeah, sure.
There's a couple of other questions I wanted to speak to, just some fun ones, and give you some wrap up there as well. Are you comfortable with, are you going to go to Cube Talks after this?
Yeah.
Yourself personally. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak to that here at the end. Not to bury the lead for everyone. More exciting stuff to come after this. Cube Talks are they're starting here in a moment, but we'll talk to that once we're all done here. Briefly, Dressius, if you have any questions as well with the US market, you're welcome to message me on Discord. I'm going to be out and about this weekend, but I'm happy to do my best to get back to you. For the US market in general, just for fun bonus advice there, and make sure that I answer the question. I'll pull it up specifically. Sometimes it can be worthwhile looking in other states if you're comfortable with moving, looking at areas that may not have as many cybersecurity professionals. You may be in an area that has a lot of military contractors and otherwise that increases the market saturation. But I just add that I'm up in Iowa, so the market's very different up here. And I say that just to give you kind of an idea of the gradient there. But I just wanted to make sure I added that on for the question. I do want to hit on the general advice. Let's see. I hit on that one a couple times before. I wanted to talk AI real quick. There we go. That's what we were going to do. There we go. From Reefkey, Ruffian. This is a question that I realize this can be kind of involved. So feel free to answer it as best as how you're comfortable with. Thank you, Hugo. That was my other question for you, was if you had your link. Absolutely. While I'm getting this question ready, do you have any socials or anything you want to share outside of your LinkedIn?
Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything. Don't really use a lot of social media. Try to get away from those. So pretty much just LinkedIn at the moment. There
you go. Posting it in chat for y'all. Are you comfortable with people connecting with you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Reach out. I mean, if you have any questions or if you want to send me some Bitcoins, like that prince from Nigeria, he's so nice. He just sent me some Bitcoin.
If someone didn't have their question answered in this AMA, are you comfortable with them reaching out to you to ask that question? Okay.
Please do.
Before to make sure that I immediately add some helpful context on that, Hugo, what we were talking about briefly was the Cube Talks. Cube Talks is another event that's happening here. Actually, it may have already started. It starts like right around this time. Hugo is going to jump over to that. That is on our Discord, and I can put a link to the Discord in chat here in a moment. I'm pretty sure it's this. GG hack the not te. There you go. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's our Discord link. So that'll pull it right up. The Cube Talks are going to be over there. That is going to be hosted by Falcon Spy Adam, a wonderful guy, another member of the community team here with me. But I mentioned that as another opportunity for if you have more questions for Hugo and we didn't quite get to it, feel free to hop over there. Very relaxed setting. I don't even know. There's not really even there's cameras on over there. It's just the Discord stage function. I had to think about that for a second. Do you have any thoughts on Cube Talks? Anything you want to add in on that before I go to the AI question?
No. Yeah, just hop in. Let's have fun.
Heck yeah. No, and thank you for being open for people connecting with you as well. I wanted to make sure that I asked and got your permission for all that. So heck yeah. And Hugo as well, once we wrap up, hang out in the studio for just a moment. We'll do our quick post and everything. Mm-hmm. So I know behind the scenes stuff. Oh no. We'll do this question, and then if you have any advice that you would give to new hackers, your younger self, whatnot, that's going to be our last question on that, and then I'll give you a moment if there's anything you want to talk about for your projects. AI question, though. AI is coming to replace us. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a great question, Rifki. I mean, it's definitely something that concerns everyone in every area, especially when people that thought that I would never be replaced are being replaced. And at this time, I find that AI can be a friend, not overused. Like I said, it can help you read a script, just break it down to a simple line or something. But I don't believe. I believe that maybe the level ones. So like the bottom, like it'll be hard for the starting analysts, but I believe that AI does have the capacity to get rid of some of the noise. Although I don't think cybersecurity as a whole, or like the most experienced, there will always be a need for human interaction with these things, because humans at this stage, AI isn't what we actually think it is. It is still programmed by humans, so it has human flaws, and it will always be a human programming it. I mean, maybe not. Maybe at some time it'll be sentient, but it's not. So I guess that if they did get rid of all of the analysts, it would be very, very bad, because AI can't really distinguish some of the stuff. So it would be, humans are very creative, very, very creative. And as a pen test, Dark will know that all it takes is a little flaw, and information between hackers is almost free and shareable. And if it pisses people off, it's going to be out there. And I don't think anything is scarier than a company being, their security being run over by AI, and there's no one to stop it. So it might be that some companies will take AI for some of the alerts, and maybe instead of 10 analysts, they'll only need 5. But I think that it will still have a lot of people. It will still be very dependent on people. So I really hope so, because you don't want like a lot of unemployed people that know what to do poking around networks. Oh, you fired me?
There's no reason for that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a whole army of us now. All you need is like literally a phone now and internet, and you can do a lot of damage. And so I don't know. I don't think it's a great idea if you have AI to replace analysts, because again, just do like, if you go into ChatGPT and ask if something is malicious, they'll probably say yes, and it's not, or vice versa. it's not obviously. I know you can train and you can program it, but it cannot cover everything. It still needs that whip. That still needs that human eye to say like, "Oh, I see what you did there." That's clever, but this is definitely malicious.
Yeah.
So I guess that it will replace some. Yeah, maybe to like again, we use automation. If we didn't use automation for some stuff, we would need maybe 100 analysts per shift. I mean, it's yeah, it would be a lot, but you know, there are very complex things that need that human eye, at least for now, as it is, and I don't see that how it will change in the next. Maybe it will change in the next maybe 5 years, but for now, I don't think it's endangered.
Mm. No, that was a very thorough discussion of that point, and I really appreciate you. AI it's the hot button issue right now, and it's an interesting problem and solution at the same time. And I appreciate you taking a moment just to speak to that with quite a bit of care, just because it's a tricky question. Now, two last things before we wrap up. I wanted to give you an opportunity. If there's any advice you have just for folks in general, or advice you give to your younger self, is there any advice you wish you had heard? Any thoughts on that? Just I really want to give you kind of an open space with that, just to give you the advice that you want to give, or let you give that. Yeah, words. Yeah, we got there.
Words got there.
There's words on the screen. Yeah.
I guess that don't get stuck on something that you don't like. Don't be afraid to do that jump to risk it. I wasn't. That's how I got here. I mean, it's I don't consider myself the brightest or the best there is. I like my path. It took some time. Again, some maybe 20 years ago I was too old to change, but right now it's never too late. You're never again too young or too old to start in cybersecurity if you want. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of people that can put you on the right path. And just take that risk. Just try it. Just use the platforms. You watch some videos. See if you like it. I mean, it's not for everyone. I mean, if you don't like it, don't force it. Also, just find what you like. Just and then go with it. And life is a bit like that. You just keep trying. It's like a relationship. If it's not working, man, you just you need to move on to a next in a different direction. And don't feel bad that you invested years in something, and don't get stuck at it just because you've done it for so long that you think that you owe yourself that oh no, I spent like 10 years doing this, perfecting it. But if you're not happy, man, maybe cybersecurity is the thing for you, or maybe it's not. Maybe if you're in cybersecurity and you hate it, just maybe do something else. There's it goes both ways, isn't it? I mean, we live now until like we're 80 or 90, so there's a lot of room for exploring and trying new things. I like that my parents always kept that open for me. They didn't force me to like, oh, you need to go to uni. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't really know. It was until like 30, I was 38 when I decided that this was actually it. I really, really like this. So yeah, just don't compare yourself in a negative way. Always look on the, your qualities. Do a lot of interviews, just get yourself out there, expand your network, be nice, and be happy, man. That's it.
Yeah, great advice. Just very positive advice too. I don't have anything to add. That was very well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Briefly, now we're at the wrap up time. my head went towards a children's cartoon that it's cleanup time. You can tell it's a Friday. Now, as we wrap up, Cube Talks are going to happen next, and I put a link to the Discord in chat. Definitely join there. Hugo, you're going to be hopping over to Cube Talks, correct?
Yep, I will.
Awesome. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask over there. Hugo, you're going to hop in there in just a few minutes. We'll have our brief wrap up for the AMA stream. Now, outside of your LinkedIn, is there anything else you'd like me to put in chat? And I'll put that in chat right now. Anything cool you're working on? Do you have a website or anything you want linked?
No, I'm not that cool yet. I will be. I will say that I do like the. I'll give you the. I think we've mentioned it. Well, we definitely mentioned it, but the Darknet Diaries. I think they're an amazing. I learned a lot from it. Just when I went for a walk, a jog, or something. When I can focus and listen, I would listen. Back to back. It's really good. He's a good narrator. He's a brilliant guy. I think I would like to meet him one day. Yeah, I would like to meet him one day. Maybe I will when I go to the social engineering. Maybe I'll meet him there. But yeah, it's very inspiring. It's good to maybe it gets you into the mindset also, which is good. Gets you into the mindset. Hearing all those stories, they were very good for me to get to where I am. At least I like to think so. So yeah, I use that a lot. I'm reading this right now. Trying to. It's
woo. We love No Starch Press here. They're awesome.
So I'm halfway through it. So again, like I said, I'm trying to get into pen testing. So trying to understand a little bit more of Linux. I found the book very good. But other than that, I don't really have a lot. Just again, I'm doing some challenges and Sherlock's from Hack the Box. I think it's a good platform if you want to start with the very easy ones. The Sherlock's very easy. They're good for someone who's starting. I think they're perfect. Because some platforms, they will say it's easy, and they're not easy. They're easy for people that actually know what they're doing, and they will that's easy. But I like that Hack the Box had that, like the very easy. It's very good for the people that want to start. So definitely go for the Sherlock's with the very easy ones. If you can't do those, there's write-ups also. So it's a very good way to learn. Also, I'm not ashamed. Sometimes I have to go to the write-ups, but you learn how to do it, which is good. That's why I'm here. I don't want to complete them and not learn anything. If I know how to do it, brilliant. But if I don't, I'll just go for the write-up and see how it's done. And then maybe on the next one, I don't need to go to the write-up. So yeah, that's it.
I also linked No Starch Press in chat too, just because they're great. I kid you not, I had already had the Darknet Diaries link on my clipboard because Jack's a cool guy. Of course. I see your comment in chat. That's about all I have to say to that is some giggles. Goodness gracious. Real quick, I just was holding my finger up because I had a parked thought. Favorite box, favorite activity on Hack the Box. Put you on the spot.
Oh, I don't have a favorite box. I've only done a couple, but I've been doing some challenges. It's my favorite one so far was Meerkat. It was a Sherlock. Meerkat.
Oh, gotcha. Don't mind me. I was thinking, wait a minute. No Starch Press also has a Humble Bundle out right now, and I'm grabbing that real quick to put that in chat. There we go. Okay, so No Starch Press also has a deal for, and I think that book you mentioned. Which one were you reading again?
Linux Basic for Hackers.
I don't see that one in this bundle, but there's a bunch of similar books, including the Open Circuits, which is an awesome one. And I'll put this link in our private chat so you can see it too, Hugo.
Cool.
But just linking that for funsies. No, I felt like putting you on the spot, asking your favorite box, right?
Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. Only the kindest treatment for my guests. Well, that about does it. Thank you for the extra time. I realized I borrowed you for a little bit more. Yeah, you can
That's
tell it's a
fine.
fun AMA when I'm like, yeah, can I just keep you for longer? Um,
Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the AMA for now because I don't want to steal focus from the awesome Cube Talks. You get to go see more awesome people, and if anything, you get to hang out with more Hack the Boxers, Hack
Okay,
the
cool.
Boxians, however you want to call
Oh,
us.
that's good. Hack the Boxians. Yeah, I
Right.
like that.
Um, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the live stream. Hugo, like I said, if you would hang out in the studio for just a minute. But for everyone in chat, thank you so much for, well, first and foremost, I gotta say, awesome questions, chat. Even if I didn't get to your question, I want you to know that I had like 15, 16 that are still starred. And it doesn't mean that that was a bad question by any means. It's just we had a lot of great ones. And I would encourage you, if your question wasn't answered now, feel free to take that to Cube Talks. And you can always say, hey, I brought this up in the AMA. Was wondering if we could get it answered here just due to run out of time in the AMA. Feel free to ask. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the awesome questions. And until next time, happy hacking. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks,
you,
Dart.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Cheers,
Hugo,
guys.
too.
Bye.
See you, everyone.